Welcome back, everyone, to A Gentleman's Life. This is just going to be a pretty quick video, I think. But, I got home from work today, and, I took off the watch I was wearing, and I reached in the box and pulled out the Seiko, the orange monster. And, I hadn't worn it in a while until, like, the past week or so. And I like to rotate through watches quite a bit and just, have a different feels. Different watches for different occasions, But this year I've bought a Tudor Pelagus, I bought a used Omega Seamaster, and I've been wearing those two watches a lot. I also bought the premium variant of the Steinhardt Pilot's watch. Been wearing that quite a bit. So now a few of the other tier 2 and 3 watches have been kind of getting a little bit less wrist time, which made me think about selling quite a few of them. And there are a few I'm going to be selling. Like the top one I'm selling is the Squale, and there's some others. But a couple of them I've actually, put back on the wrist in the past couple weeks, or a week and a half or so. And kind of rekindle that feeling you have with them when you first get them, And one of those was the Seiko. So I had on the bracelet for a little bit, and then this weekend I swapped it over to its rubber strap. And the weather's been beautiful today and the day before. And yesterday I went out for walk in the woods. Wore the orange monster, and I've just been thinking about this one quite a bit. I can't wear the orange monster at work. It is against regulations because it is not conservative in nature, obviously. I mean, anyone who can look at that watch face and tell me that is conservative in nature, I mean, obviously it's up to your interpretation, but I guarantee you anyone in the military will say this is not conservative in nature. So this is off time only. Part of the reason I think I have worn it less as well. But having worn it again this week, I've really kind of rekindled and reinforced kind of the original feelings as to why I fell in love with this watch in the first place. And has made me decide to kind of keep it for now, and possibly for a long time. Kind of, thinking philosophically and going over in my head, what I want from watch collecting. And I know kind of the big watches I want to buy, but I haven't decided fully, I think, on the structure of my collection yet. I know, that I like divers and want divers. I know chronographs. And I like those, and we like some chronographs, especially really classic chronographs. And then, aviation and field watch styles. But, maybe I can combine those two together into just kind of a general military type watch, or some aviation watches aren't military, but we can mix those together, I think. And then, my Steinhardt sub-collection. But maybe there's an interesting way to go about that and still, I think, keep some of those random fun, tier 2 and 3 pieces that don't quite fit into anything else. And and to me, then, they're not really part of your collection per se, but they're just kind of fun watches you have. And originally I thought, every watch that you had should be part of your collection. But I'm thinking that maybe that's not necessarily the case. I have the first watch that got me back into wearing watches, and I mean, to me, it's not really one that I feel like needs to be part of my collection. It's a quartz dress watch, but it's the one my parents got me before my first promotion in the military. It has some sentimental value, and I do like the way it looks. It is a homage piece, but I'm okay with that. But I don't think it's part of like my collection, so to speak, as just a watch I want to keep. And I kind of feel the same way to a certain degree about the Orange Monster. It's just a watch that sometimes I just really want to wear it. And I really appreciate just kind of that out there design. And it's almost just, I don't want to call it a classic design, but it's this kind of I relate it to being more like, when I think of movies, you have classic movies and you have cult classics. And I feel like this, I relate to a movie that's a cult classic. Anyways, back to my original point to make this video. And I'll come on board to the topic of how you structure your collections. Or do you think every watch you own should be part of your collection? Or should you have your collection, which you're doing as a collection, and then you just other watches that you'd like to have? Do you, and this is just a question for all of the viewers, like, do you separate that? Or do you try to only fit everything into the collection? It's something I've been thinking about recently, because there's some watches where when I think about what I want out of a collection, they don't fit, but sometimes I love to wear them. So that's just something I've been thinking about. I would love either leave comments below, or even better, if you wanted to do a video response, I'd be really interested to hear what you have to say. Some videos from some of the other guys I watch, Johnny Casual, I think Stuart as well, Stuart Lomas, and a few others, have somewhat touched on this topic, but I don't feel like I have a definitive idea in my head yet as to what the answer is. So, how have you decided to structure your collection, and do all the watches you plan on owning have to fit in that collection? Be really interested to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time.